Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the program Astro Factors. This is Dr Harish. In this program, I am going to introduce Acharya Neha. Acharya Neha, she has specialized herself in the field of palmistry, Vastu, numerology and other vistas of astrology during the past 10 years. So I welcome Neha ji.
Thank you, Acharya ji.
In this program, and today we are going to discuss the horoscope. Rather, I would say that rarest of rare horoscope of one of the most outstanding personality, Shri Osho.
Which planetary position of Osho made him an extraordinary human being in terms of spirituality and occult?
So, in this connection, rather I will narrate a story which Osho himself once enunciated in one of his programs. So he said that Acharya Rajnish, so he was earlier Mr. Jain, and he was a student of philosophy in Sagar University. But he was not interested in the studies, and very often he bunked the classes. His professor G.C. Saxena was always worried about his performance. So when he was going to write the examination of postgraduate in philosophy, his professor came to him before he was entering in the examination hall. And he said, Mr. Jain, you have to write what is mentioned in the textbook. You have to write precisely what is mentioned in the textbook. You are not supposed to ask any questions. You are an examinee and the examiner is going to examine you. So again and again I remind that you should write what is there in the standard textbook or what is taught in the class. Anyway, the written examination passed off. So then there was the factor of Viva Voce examination. So again Professor G.C. Saxena came to him and he said, well, Mr. Jain, the professor who is coming to take the Viva Voce examination, he is a professor from Aligarh Muslim University. He is a fanatic, but he is well versed in his subject. But again I remind you that you should not be unconventional in your answers and you are not supposed to ask questions. You are supposed to answer the questions which is posed by the examiner with best of your ability and confidence. And if the things will not move in right direction, I will kick you and I will give you a hint from my legs underneath the table. So, on the appropriate day, Mr. Jain, he appeared for Viva Voce examination. The first question which was posed before him by the professor of Aligarh Muslim University, that what is Indian philosophy? So the answer of Mr. Jain was, sir, first you tell what is Indian philosophy. If physics is physics, chemistry is chemistry, mathematics is mathematics. So what is this Indian? Why you have put this prefix Indian before the philosophy? So his professor, he started kicking him from underneath the table. So he said, sir, my professor, he is kicking me beneath the table and he is not happy with my answer. So, but the professor was very happy and the conversation, that went up very well and he was given 99 out of 100. So again Mr. Jain, earlier Mr. Osho, he was the then Jain, he said, sir, why you have deducted one marks? So the professor from Aligarh Muslim University, he said, okay, I am giving you 100 out of 100. So that was his, out of way approach, out of box approach.
Right. What made him to go beyond the taboo of the society?
Definitely, you see, this is the horoscope, and one of the rarest of rare horoscope. Horoscope is of Taurus Lagna. You see, this is Taurus, and the Lord is Venus. It is situated or placed in 8th house. Now, this is third. This is the second house. This is the the Lord is placed here. 4th house. This is the fourth. Here, fourth means moon, but here Jupiter is placed. Jupiter, this is exalted in Cancer. So that way, his planet of communication. Now, planet of, wisdom, planet of intelligence. It was of very high quality, and it was placed in his exalted position. You can see the degree. I have mentioned even the degree. Though the degree is not very good, this is on the near 30 degree. But since it is in exalted or Uchavastha, so that will give the full results of his wisdom. So another noteworthy factor is there are some 6 planets in the 8th house. So this is, I will explain subsequently what is the significance of these 6 planets in 8th house.
Generally, as we see that 8th house is not considered very auspicious, but he has so many planets in his 8th house. So how does it work good for him and he achieves so extraordinary results?
So this is a very correct and appropriate question, but I would like to tell you, see, the significance is that this is the ninth. Ninth is the Dhanu Rashi, and the house is the 8th house. 8th house is called, this is a house of Mrityu, house of Ayu, and house of Randhra. Randhra means porous. Porous means, that everything goes out of in a very unconventional manner. So, everything is unorthodox, everything is unconventional, everything is against the established norms of the society.
Right.
So, these are 3 basic ingredients. Now, there is one more important factor. One more important factor is, this is the 7th house. And this Lord is Mars. This goes from 7th house to 8th house. Now, when there is a transition of 7th house to 8th house, so there is some rumor mongering, there is some sort of discreet voices against the relationship between a male and female. So this is the basic thing. Now, Rahu and Ketu, you can see this is the 5th house and this is the 11th house. So 6, 12 axis. Jupiter, I told that Jupiter is exalted. Now here are the planets. Mars, Mars is the planet for energy. Mars is the planet for, that is the vigor, vitality. Moon, what is moon? Here, moon, this is the Rashi of moon. Moon is situated here. Moon is for mind. Moon is for the, movement of mind. If there is any discrepancy of moon, if there is any disorder of moon, so a person may suffer from schizophrenia, a person may suffer from bipolar disorders, or a person can go to extreme heights so far as the thinking is concerned.
Okay.
The movement of moon, you must be knowing, Nehaji, that moon, it is very frequent. Moon moves very, very swiftly. It changes the place very swiftly. So that is the basic thing, the movement of moon, that is very important. Venus, Venus is for, comforts, for company, a good company. This is for the perfume, and this is for all pleasure. So that sort of planets, planets of vitality are there, planets of comfort are there, then the planet for the mind are there, and Mercury is for the intelligence. This is the second house. This is the, to be more precise, here, there is a placement of Mercury. So Mercury, it is situated here. And all the planets, they are encompassed like a capsule. So that was the type of personality which was reflected from his saying. Any subject in the society, it may be unconventional, it may be related to sex, it may be related to anything which was considered as a taboo for the society. It may be considered which is not good for the say, you can say, to be precise, for Indian community are the values, ethical, social, moral and religious values of Indian society. But his concept was different. This man was a different.
Different man. Right.
His DNA was different. And everything, it is exhibited by the placement of so many planets in
Eighth house.
eighth house. Eighth house is totally unconventional. Suppose something is hidden. Suppose something is discrete. Suppose there is new research, if a person, he wants to go for new research in fundamental things, DNA, RNA, or anything which is hidden. So it is always inculcated and reflected by the eighth house. That is the importance of eighth house. So, and all the planets bearing sun, and sun, I told that the Lord is placed in ninth house. So again, there is a communication. That type of personality he was having. And moreover, he disseminated a symbol of love and affection in USA. So that was the total story.
Okay. Which house of his was important for his effective communication and speech?
Earlier I told it is second house and third house. In second house there is Buddh. Buddh is the famous for intelligence, Mercury. It is placed here. It is placed in eighth house. So that way all these planets, they are respecting this house. So all these planets, bigger personality, then Abha Mandal, facial expression, and then intensity of his speech, coherence of his communication, syntax, and the text of a particular speech. So everything is reflected in his house of communication. So that way, he was able to speak in a very audacious, very effective, and a sort of very coherent manner, which was able to explode the thoughts of the audience. That was his personality in those days, Secondly, again I will tell, though he was imprisoned, mind you, he was imprisoned, and his disciples were also imprisoned. But he said, no, you should not be afraid of imprisonment. And he suggested that you send loads and truckloads of flowers, loads and truckloads of bouquet, load and truckloads of good things in the prison. So the entire US administration, they were astonished. They were surprised that here lies a man who has been sentenced or who has been imprisoned.
Right.
But there is a lot of different types of thought in his personality. So that was the exhibition of his personality in those directions.
What made him give so many disciples all over the world?
Basically, he was unconventional. He was unorthodox. And he said that, 2 and 2 is going to be 4. No, 2 and 2 may be 5. 2 and 2 may be 0. That was his convention. And any word, he was able to speak on any unconventional subject. And he has written so many books,
Yeah.
And sometimes it was said that he was a professor of philosophy in Jabalpur, and sometimes, I don't know how far this is correct, but I have read. So he used to walk without clothes in the night. So that was his personality, that if I will do this thing, this is against the norms of the society. But let us see what happens, Let us see that what is the balance of society who are seeing me from the different directions. And someone told me that he wanted to establish an ashram in Pune. Several times he requested authorities that he will allot me land. So the worst land, lot of nalas, lot of filth, and lot of animals, which was allotted to Osho commune in Pune. But you may be surprised. If you visit the place, totally different place. Lot of waterfalls, lot of greenery, lot of construction, and lot of constructive activity.
He had made it so positive, the environment is so positive and vibrant.
There was something, Vinod Khanna. Vinod Khanna, he is a famous film actor. So at the zenith of his, epitome of his, his cine career, he joined. And he was not a preacher. Vinod Khanna was never appointed as a preacher. He was never appointed as a sort of member of the Disha Mandal. His services was retained as a gardener. So that was the difference of his personality.
Okay.
So many other senior persons, so many other important persons,
Okay.
so they were ready to join his commune in a very sort of palliatory activity. So that was the total difference.
Right, sir.
Okay, so my dear viewers, so I try to give my perspective in a sort of rarest and rare personality, Osho, Rajnish, though he died very young. He died very young. Maybe you see, whenever this is the this is the sixth house. Whenever you know the sixth house it goes in the earth. So it gives a sort of say less ayu or madhya ayu, and the Lord is also there in earth house. Sixth and eighth combination. This is not good for. This is not good for longevity. And moreover, there are so many controversies, there are so many stories. But the best part is he has established a niche for himself in the society in years to come. So viewers, you were seeing this program Astro Factor, and if you have liked this program, give me a significance of liking and offer your comments. And your comments will be additive factors in improving this program, and you kindly subscribe this channel, and that will invigorate my efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.